Hi, I'm Sophie, and I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm here to help with that. And we are
SP Filmviewers.
another year over, and a new one just about to begin. So, hello everybody, and welcome to our 2021 retrospective of the year, of the films we've covered.
I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas so far. You're enjoying it. And please do still think it is Christmas out there. The world has gone nuts and thinks Christmas is just one day. It's actually the reason why you have 12 days of Christmas is after.
So you mean like Christmas Day is more in the middle of all the 12 days?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So you have the 12 days up to like the 5th of January. So that's when the shops and everything would be closed, and that's why everyone would have to do the big shop. And we still do that, but the shops are open then 2 days after the fact.
Boxing Day sales.
Yeah.
Yep.
So please, I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas. Please enjoy it as much as you can with your family and friends. We're lucky that we've been able to kind of do that this year anyways, compared to some, even though it's been a bit ropey.
Yeah, but it's certainly been a lot easier, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just the news tells you one thing and then Boris and life tells you different things. But we've had a lovely Christmas, haven't we?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's been nice to actually have like time we dedicate to one side, each other's families, I guess. Have them up and visit and everything.
And touch wood, we've been quite safe and sensible, so fingers crossed nothing's...
Still not caught it, which I guess
Don't say that, don't jinx yourself. Jesus Christ.
But playing it safe and everything with all that stuff, so I can only be thankful for that.
Mm-hmm. And thankful for doing this for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with lockdown, this has kind of helped us a little bit. Like busy life, daily schedules come into life and such. I feel like this kind of gave us a hobby that you could do at home quite easily.
Yeah, like a lot of people have done. It's kind of started out as like a means of doing so.
It definitely has ramped up, and now when we don't do it or we miss a week or something like that, it is a little bit like what are we watching? Are you not going to sit and talk to me for half an hour or an hour?
Yeah, so this will just, like I say, what I've said before, it'll just be like a general chin wag about looking back on what we've kind of covered, everything like
overall
that.
Of everything of the past year. Like when people on Spotify do it and they go, oh, these are the songs that you've listened to and this is what you've rated and all of that. That's kind of literally what we're going to be doing in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the same time as having some alcohol.
Yes, drinking again. Yes, we are.
Makes you loosey-goosey, that's why we do it. I don't drink that much, to be fair, so it's like Paul gets even more excited when Sophie's like, oh, I'll have a cider. He's like, oh, she's drinking.
Certainly a rarity, I guess.
Not often. So I want to kind of start off with how many 10s we've given out this year. Like on Strictly, I feel like you're the Craig of the show.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody knows. You've mentioned this a couple of times. I don't know if people actually know when you say like Strictly meaning Strictly Come Dancing, which is like a British dance show. If nobody knows what that is,
if you're in America, it's like Dancing with the Stars. So that's like your equivalent, I would say.
Yeah.
So you get a pro dancer, and then you get a celebrity, and they teach you how to dance for free. If anything, you get paid probably to be on the show. I can imagine.
For publicity stuff, yeah. But obviously, these people still. When you see them doing that, I've been at my job as well, doing the news.
Yeah, they get
or
probably paid for both of it.
Exactly.
To be fair, they'll be getting like 2 incomes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, Craig is the one that if you were at a pantomime when the baddie comes on the stage and you get booed and hissed at, he's like the bad judge that even if it's 10 worthy, he'll find something wrong. And I think that's you. Like even if it has to be like exceptionally high for it to be
High
a 10.
standards, yeah. Can't just throw 10s around willy-nilly.
Where I don't throw them around willy-nilly,
Hmm.
but I'm a bit more generous at giving them. So
Yes, yeah.
I think with you, we looked at the scores, and we had a really good year at the beginning. Like, the first film we had was, like, Knockout.
Yeah, starting off high with Singing in the Rain, and we both gave that a 10.
And I think that's the only time we've both done that.
What, 10
Both
across
10
the board?
agreed,
yeah, that's
10.
Right. That's right, yeah.
Which, but especially this year, I don't know if we've done it last year, possibly we might have done, but this year, that was like the first one. So we peaked at the beginning.
I know, I remember we definitely go La La Land a 10. But I think from the back of that and watching Singing in the Rain again, like, yeah, I feel like La La Land, I like this.
Yeah.
Which I still do. I was still wrong, and it's got the Hollywood, the magic behind the camera kind of stuff. That's again that incorporating that. That's what I really liked about that one.
To say, I'd say that now this movie is my favourite movie. To say that we've accomplished even that, in 2021 is amazing. Because I probably would have said, I don't really know what I would have said my favourite movie was before we did this.
The Grinch.
The Grinch, yeah. But I feel like that's so niche to Christmas.
Yes. Christmas.
I know.
Show food.
To Christmas, it's one of those where you can't say it's an everyday, all-rounder favourite film.
Yeah. It's for a favourite film or something you really rate higher at a 10. It needs to be something that you could just put on at any time and not have a problem with watching it. That's what I mean. It's got to be something that a film that's like, no matter what, it's like, oh, this will not necessarily cheer you up, but you get some level of enjoyment out of it, regardless. Even
even though you know the beat of it, it's still
it's just there. It's like it's great, yeah.
And you still kind of don't get bored throughout it. Like The Grinch, I love, and I can watch. I know everything about it, and I know every line he's going to probably say, but I still can watch it. But I wouldn't want to watch it in summer.
No.
Because I love Christmas, but still, I wouldn't do that. Whereas Singing in the Rain, you can just put on whenever. The next 10 I had was The Notebook. And since this is your only 10, we'll go through my remaining 10s.
Yeah. For the year, that was the only one I really rated. There was some close calls, don't get me wrong, there were like 9s and stuff. There's a fair few of those, but they didn't quite hit the mark.
Yep, see, didn't do that kind of certain thing for Paul to make it a 10. But with The Notebook, I gave that a 10, and you gave it a 6. Would you want to change that score now on reflection? Do you think that's a bit harsh?
No, I don't think so, because I haven't really thought of it. It's not like a thing I've really thought about again, type of thing. Or
so mean. Well, to be fair, there was a couple of these when I went down and I'm like, Paul, what are these again? I don't remember these. So that shows. And funnily enough, when looking at the score, it kind of did reflect that.
How do you mean?
There were lower scores and then I forgot them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We just didn't forget Troll 2 or...
Oh, no, how could you? That's the thing, if they're really
Mario.
bad, then you don't forget them. But if they're just mediocre, like a 5 or a 6, it's like certain ones I was like, don't remember them. And even by the name, it was like it wasn't ringing a full bell.
Well, I suppose so, because some of the titles, like, particularly I think more in when I did the films that we covered in what I watched in like film studies that month, and there's like, you were like, what's Local Hero or Chunking Express?
I still, you tried to, you did try and explain them to me, but I'm still a little bit like, the Local Hero one, that just really, I can't remember it whatsoever. I think I'm trying to dig my brain to think, was it Irish or Scottish?
No, they're set in Scotland.
Right. And it was that weird place where, like, everyone was really, it came out of nowhere.
It was just like a really close-knit town.
Oh, I hate that.
But they were really helpful in the end, weren't they, with, you know, like being a community and everything.
Yeah, but they were backstabbing him at the beginning, weren't they?
Yeah.
Vaguely remember that. That's just literally like, you know, when you're trying to get to the right at the back of your head to get something.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your brain had like storage compartments.
Yes.
That's where that's gone. It's
Tucked
like,
away.
it's near
Okay.
enough in the trash.
Oh, right, okay.
So if the less we talk about that one will fall out of my brain.
Okay. But you gave that a 6 anyway. Like, I only gave that an 8. I enjoyed rewatching that again.
Really?
But
is that because it's Scottish?
not necessarily. I think it was just a good, simple-ish storyline. You know, like the community. I like those kind of like.
I think it was a bit jovial though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's one of those kind of darkish humour ways, like kind of.
Well, I don't say like black humour or anything
no,
like that.
But just like that kind of weird comedy that's not funny.
I don't think it's really intended.
But I think it's like with the locals trying to be like whispering behind the back. Since I don't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't gel with me.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's like the Chungking Express one. I gave that an 8, and I was like, you had to remind me on what that was. Because I was getting confused with Tampopo.
Right.
Initially.
Different sides of the Asia. But
I can remember Tampopo more. I think what I could just remember was there was a shop and it was like selling food.
Which in Chungking Express?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that took me to the ramen shop.
Right, yes.
If that makes sense. That's where I went with, and then I was like, And then you reminded me of...
Do you not remember all the leaves are brown and the sky is grey being played on like every single opportunity?
Tried to forget it, I think. I really do think I've tried to put that to the back of my head. Even True Romance, like, I don't really think that should be called that. I don't know.
You don't think? What would you give it a title then based on what it's about?
Now you've put me under pressure. I don't know. I don't really think they're in love, really, are they? Like, they only just met and then they're like spiral down this ridiculous path.
Yeah, they still love each other by the end. It didn't go like...
I think it's better like crazy, stupid love more like than it is
maybe
true love.
Yeah. Perhaps, yeah. Obviously, this film was way before that film came out, so they could have gone with that title.
Yeah.
But...
And it always makes me want to sing like Lady Gaga. But Bad Romance. Maybe Bad Romance might have been better as well.
It wasn't bad because it wasn't like a thing where they were together. Then they broke up. Is it? They had a kid at the end of it and everything.
No, but he changed, didn't he? Because of her, the way he loved her so much. He would not have normally done what he did, and he only did that for her, which got him into a lot of trouble. So it's like, in the end, they got off scot-free. Luckily.
Yeah, just about. Skin of the teeth.
So, I don't know, the things you do for love, maybe that's what it should be called instead.
I don't have a problem with the title anyway.
I just don't link it to the film. Right. I don't know why.
Okay.
Just, I feel like True Romance brings me to a rom-com. And it is, but it's not. It's got so much other things going on for it. It's not just a cliche rom-com film.
No.
And I think that's why the title can confuse somebody if they read it initially.
Yeah, if they didn't know what it was, and just on that alone, they might be like, "Oh, that sounds really cute."
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm meaning. It's a bit misleading. It's cleverly done, but it's misleading if somebody was just going by the title.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like within this, looking at it,
yeah,
I think we peaked at the top with like Singing in the Rain, The Karate Kids, like. Really enjoyed that.
Are you saying the pics just went
downhill
as we went?
In the middle, I think we have this bit of a chunk where we've got like Jackie Brown was good, and so was The Notebook. I enjoyed it, and Amelie, and then after like Pokemon, it kind of because we had to do the Monster March, and then for some reason you've crammed in Back to the Future, which I loved. Until you made me watch like 3 of them, and then I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm sick of Back to the Future now.
I know, but I feel like it couldn't.
I could
felt
have
like
done
it
without
deserved-
watching the third. I
No.
really
No,
couldn't.
I'm the same, but bear in mind that for that one, I didn't know. I hadn't watched it myself, so it was kind of like a golden opportunity to like see what it was all about, but it didn't really amount to much, to be honest. Especially as the part two, just like at the end of the credits, it's like, oh, here's what's coming up next, and then it's like, we're gonna just see this in the next time we put the disc in.
Yeah, and it was literally one of those where it felt like they'd just gone into like a western, Back into the Future, which was just not needed.
Yeah,
because like instead it was instead of going into the future, it's like going way past even when he was born.
Yeah.
So it just didn't need to be done. But then I think we get back into it after that. Like Blues Brothers, absolutely loved.
Yep, it's really good.
RoboCop. I think then we kind of get to take a dip.
Sorry, Mark and John.
Sorry. So sorry.
But it's fun to have those guys on for that.
It was lovely.
Of course.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that we get to have all these amazing people on.
Yes. Yeah.
But still don't think RoboCop is for me.
No, so I feel that's definitely more a male-orientated film, really. Action.
It's like an Arnie one, isn't it? It's just like so mundane. You know what's coming. It's predictable, and the acting's not great, and also it's not got much storyline to it.
Okay. Once again, I apologise.
I'm being truthful. I'm being my honest, truthful self.
So here's a question then off the back of that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon then, if you were to watch like the Terminator,
I wouldn't like it.
You'd be like, ugh.
I don't like Arnie, really. I don't really see the appeal. He can't act. I don't even know how he's actually in an acting job. Like, he's as stiff as a board. You could get an ironing board acting better than he could.
What about you?
Don't say.
No, Jingle All the Way.
And you're going to say that? Like, no, we can't act in that.
No, he can't. No,
it's shite.
With him,
his face don't move either. Like, what is that about?
It does move.
It doesn't.
It does move, but my thing of that is when I see him in these kind of like, he's like trying to be like a normal family situation, it seems a bit odd. It always seems odd that he's like that, because I'm sure obviously he's got a family and stuff, but in real life, but I mean in those situations, like I can't quite like understand how he's like being the normal everyday Joe, because he's so bulky and
do you
everything.
think it works well in the Terminator because he does look like a robot?
Exactly. Or like in those big acts like Predator or whatever and things like that, where it's like really buff thing, a macho role. But in like when we saw Twins this year as well, didn't we?
We just didn't review it. Yeah.
For the first time, and that was like a similar thing. Like it's a bit odd that he's.
It's just
yeah.
It's just weird. He seems like this kind of person who's got like muscles and everything, but he's got no brain. That's what it feels like.
That's a bit harsh.
Like he's like a caveman kind of level.
God. What about the like The Rock? You know, Dwayne Johnson, who's now.
I can tolerate him better.
Really, because I feel like he's just the same in everything he does. It's like he's no different. And again, it's a similar thing that like, you can't put him in a normal everyday role because he has to be the big tough guy. He can't be anything else because of how his physique is.
But he doesn't talk funny, does he?
What, an Austrian accent? No, but.
And also, I think The Rock, he's a bit more expressive in his face a little bit.
Like with
and he can do humour a bit better.
You saying Arnie's not funny?
No, he's not. I just can't.
No. But I feel like The Rock or Dwayne Johnson seems a bit of a meme in itself.
Yeah.
Because it's like just overusing
everything,
and like that. I haven't seen that. I don't think I would really be bothered with the Red Notice film because it kind of looks like just you got him and Ryan Reynolds, and they'll just be playing themselves in the way that they they do, and it's just, I don't know if it can be.
I would like to see Ryan Reynolds just because anything he's in, apart from that weird thing he made me watch ages ago when we
Voices.
It might be good to go back on that.
Yeah, I know we talked about that before. It's definitely on.
Because that was weird and wacky and I couldn't tolerate it. And I don't know if I still can now. I've developed and grown, but there's certain things I just have my limit.
Yeah.
And that might be it.
With him, yeah.
But Ed Sheeran's in it, but he seems to be popping up out of anywhere nowadays, doesn't he? He was in Bridget Jones' Diary 3 or whatever.
Yeah. Don't want. Did you've seen that?
Yeah.
I definitely haven't seen that.
I think he rocks up in a bar or something at some point.
Yeah.
And then Game of Thrones, well, he got ripped to shreds, didn't he? I read on that one.
Yeah.
He did look out of place, though. He didn't even look like he should be there.
That seems ages ago. That was even mentioned.
But he loved Game of Thrones. Like, if he could have been squished in The Hobbit or something, he would have been.
Yeah, he wrote a song, but as far as that went. Anyway, back to this list, and let's talk about the guests that we've had. We've had friend Alex on the Monster March one, Jurassic Park 3. That was.
I'm so glad he was on there, to be fair, because otherwise I don't know what I'd have brought. So grateful for his input, even though he likes kind of it and is more in love with what's his name.
Jeff Goldblum isn't even in that one.
But his love for Jeff Goldblum or whatever his name is just excessive. And it just brings a little bit of edge to the review. I think it helps that he's got really that rapport of it. And also he loves talking anything Jurassic Park. So and the fact that he hates his movie so much. He just wanted to make me suffer. Clearly.
Yeah.
So Alex was his first guest.
No, it wasn't. It was we had the guys from Laughing at Ourselves for What If.
Oh yes, I did look at What If and was like,
it's a Daniel Radcliffe one.
I know, and I was so disappointed because it is a rom-com one, and that kind of, it took a while for me to register what that was. Like Jackie Brown sticks in my brain more than What If.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's saying much or not.
I'd rather Jackie Brown leave a lasting impression than What If. It was okay for what it was, but
it's a shame. Even though I do like the lady in it.
There's that. What's the other thing we watched? Off. It was Ruby Sparks or something, wasn't it? It was on.
Oh, I like that.
Through Disney Plus or something.
That was good.
That was good. Yeah, and I wanted to see that for a while, and I really enjoyed that.
No, I really, really enjoyed that. So who else have we had? Obviously, we've had 100 Things About Films, which we've kind of covered with RoboCop.
We have had boss or co-worker John for Willow.
For Willow.
Yep.
Yeah. Life was a Willow. I would like to watch it. They're making a Willow
TV series.
Oh, the TV series, so they're doing what they did with Dark Crystal. Is that kind of like?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
And that kind of works out well with probably another cover as well, where we've had guests for Dark Crystal.
Yes. That was with kids. What are we watching tonight?
That was fun, and I know you really enjoyed talking about that. So.
And then we had another one after that with film vloggers.
Yeah.
Whiplash. Shortly after that, I think we kind of just how that played out with scheduling meetings and stuff. So we did have 2 guest episodes in consecutive weeks. That was still how it fell, but that was a lot of fun again to talking about that.
No, it was really nice to talk to people who love the movies themselves or hate them in Alex's, and how passionate people are about film, and being able to talk to people who are doing a similar thing to what we're doing. So I think we've actually had another 2, haven't we, as well, by the looks of things, that we've oversighted. I'm so sorry. Not for the fact of the films being poor and our review, that they were really fun to do as well. So we've actually had quite a few guests on this year in total.
Yep, I tried to branch ourselves out a bit more with other podcasts and stuff, and hopefully that continues next year as well. And one of those 2 is Sam and Lincoln from the B Plot podcast. Where we were talking about Old Boy.
Yeah. Oh boy, I do remember that quite vividly. That one.
Yeah, you kind of gave that a low score, but I guess that was more potentially shock value of what that offered.
Yeah, I think I would watch it again. I would.
Yeah.
I'd go back to it, knowing
especially
what I know.
know what you know now. Yeah, because that's the thing with me. It's like, oh God, that's such a twist, and
to be fair, I'm
like
trying to think of the twist in my head and trying to pull it out now, just to remember it, so that when we do get to it, it wouldn't shock me as much. It just seemed a little bit of a mind blur, that one, to be fair. And I think also that was like at the beginning of the year as well.
Yeah, not
a couple of months in, probably.
Yeah.
You know, early 2021. I think I've grown and developed a lot more in that time. We can't forget as well Babadook.
No.
So, Tipsy Pod.
Terrified and Tipsy, yeah.
Terrified and Tipsy. Oh, it's
Tipsy Pod is their handle, but yes. It was we had the girls on for that.
That was amazing. I felt a bit sorry for you though on that one, to be fair, because I don't think you got a chance to talk at all. Because 3 women against 1.
Yeah. But no, I think the main thing was I got my point across about what I thought about how that ended. Or my interpretation of it anyway. So.
Yes, you added a little bit more in-depthness to it, didn't you?
Yeah. I feel like with how that worked out with the horror month, in October, I feel like that kind of started off pretty strong with for me anyway, with the scoring of stuff, and then it kind of, sadly, the finale with Child's Play wasn't as a big of a hit as I thought, because I didn't know how you were going to react to it.
Even you scored it low.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Which I'm surprised by, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because it's a horror film.
Yeah, it doesn't have to mean I rate everything horror-related highly.
To be fair, out of the horror month, Babadook got the highest score. The lowest was Chainsaw Massacre on my part. And I think for the highest one for you, it was Blair Witch Project.
Just by 0.5, yeah.
8.5, yeah.
Yeah. Still think that's just because of that feels the most real. In a sense. Might be like, for people, might not hit as strong these days. Obviously, it's more of a...
It's not as scary or realistic, is it, to think that would happen?
What do you mean? Sorry?
For a child, for the Child's Play one, for that to
actually... Oh, no, of course not, no.
Come into real life, so it's kind of not scary, where the Blair Witch Project, and even Babadook, of some form, like a ghostly entity, could come to light.
That's true.
But I do think it's helping a little bit towards Halloween, being not so scared.
Yeah.
Also, just looking back at birthday specials.
Yeah.
So, for example, your birthdays contains, let me get this right, Tampopo.
Yep.
Beast of the Southern Wilds. And Trolls 2.
Troll 2, yeah. With no trolls in it.
So your scores went from Tampopo 9, Beast of the Southern Wild 8, and then Troll 2, 3?
Yep.
No, wait, Trolls 2,
3.
Scoring 3.
3,
yeah.
Yeah. But you gave Troll 2 too.
I did. But still, I was quite generous on Tampopo and Beast of the Southern Wild, where I gave it a 9 for Beast of the Southern Wild and an 8 for Tampopo. However, let's go and have a look at my birthday scores.
Yeah.
So, her was influenced by him.
Yes, it was, admittedly.
So, giving it a 9 is kind of giving yourself a 9 there, isn't it? And I gave it a 7.5. And then My Best Friend's Wedding, which was definitely influenced by myself, 6.5 that you gave it. Gave it an 8.
Yep.
And Serendipity, I gave a 9. And you gave a 7. So quite low scores when it comes to my birthday.
From me, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas I go the opposite way, and I'm quite nicely scoring.
Mm-hmm. But that's surely down to your level of enjoyment with them, then.
Are you just saying you don't enjoy what I enjoy? Is that what you're saying?
Not always, because obviously if I didn't like Singing in the Rain, I wouldn't have rated it so high or anything, would I? So.
True. But I mean, what I suggest for you to watch.
I guess not, but maybe because they just kind of follow the same similar formula in most regards, whereas nothing like, oh, that's unexpected, or...
Sometimes it doesn't need a big plot twist, though, to be a good film. Singing in the Rain doesn't have a plot twist,
No.
but it's just a classic.
No, that's true.
Thanks. I didn't know how to respond to that because you agreed with me. I was waiting for a bit more of an argument. You threw me off. Is there any other films? Oh, I know. Sorry. The Matrix. For me, that was, like, even though I did slag it off.
Well, not so bad, because you gave it a 9.
I gave it a 9, but I complained about what the Matrix...
Oh, yeah, you was. Yeah.
Could be, and why, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I went really in depth about that.
Yes.
Do you know there's a new Matrix film coming out?
Of course I do.
Do you want to go see that?
I do and I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid of, like, get my fingers burnt with how the other ones are. The second one, it's okay, but the third one is just, why? So
I haven't
I've got
seen the second one.
No, we haven't had moments to see that, but I'd say that more so than the third one. That's not unnecessary. This one, I don't know as to it. I mean, the trailer looks pretty good, but whether that's like that's everything you've seen, like they do for most films.
Yeah.
Or what's the purpose of this, doing it so many years after the fact?
Well, if you want to go see it, let me know, and we'll go.
Okay. We did go to the cinema. I think there was only one instance we did this year, and that was to go see.
Well, you went twice, I think, didn't you? I went once.
Oh yeah. I always wanted my own to see In the Earth. I don't think you would have enjoyed it. I didn't. It was like a folk horror type of film, but
it wasn't crap.
It wasn't particularly scary or anything like that. So I don't think you would have been too phased by it. But
there was a couple of occasions I wanted to go to the cinema this year. So I think A Quiet Place 2 was it?
Yeah,
was out.
That finally came out. Yeah,
and I really wanted to see that, even though Jim from The Office wasn't in it, but he directed it, didn't he? So yeah. But the film we went to see, and Paul paid for me to go. This
was just before lockdown was about to kick in again, I think, wasn't it?
I think so.
It was in like the summer months. Yeah, because it was just before my birthday. So
I think we just got in, didn't we? But we wore masks and everything like that.
Oh yeah, there was some reason why we was like, oh, it's best to do it now before.
I think schools were going back or something like that, and it's going to get right again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in the new year, we can start picking that up a little bit more, because I have missed going and watching new things in the cinema.
Yeah, me too.
Just that cinema environment, it does mean a lot, and it makes it so much more special sometimes.
Because, like, when we rented the Kong vs Godzilla at home, I just didn't have. It was okay, but it didn't have the same impact as if it was in the cinema. They'd be like, "Oh my god, this is like one of these things that has to be seen on the cinema screen," but because it wasn't really. I don't think cinemas even open at that point. I don't think they were. So it was like it just gone to streaming. So it was like, well, this is pants.
But I think as well, it was. All I remember is, like, for example, the greatest film experience I have had in the cinema was Endgame.
Oh yeah.
Where everyone is feeling the same feelings that you were feeling in that room. You know, when it's shock or upsetment when Tony's no longer, and it's just you kind of get that feel of the room as well. So it's like the volume is massive, don't get me wrong, the screens are.
Yeah.
But I think it's that empathy and that feeling that everyone else is feeling that same way.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And I think that's what you miss from a cinema experience.
Yeah,
because the room's silent. You know, like a pin. Well, you couldn't because
the epicness, going on. But I get what you mean. Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. So, you know, like when the Showcase Cinema shows that advert where they're like people are laughing or crying or spilling popcorn. Yeah. It's that cinema.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, it's sorely missed for the most part. Obviously, it's not great when you've got kids. But it's been very rare occasion, especially when you go to these. If you go to Cineworld, then that's more than likely, because if it's in the centre of town, then just every Tom, Dick, and Harry comes along, and
we normally go to like Showcase or something like that.
You have to drive to get to it. So,
and as well, you get better seats, and you can have tea. in the room. What was the other one we saw? We saw the anime one. Was that the beginning of last?
Yeah, Weathering with You.
Was that the beginning of last year, or was it beginning of 2019 or something?
Beginning of 2020.
Was
that
it?
Was, yeah.
Last
year.
Yeah, it's weird saying last year now, knowing we're so close to the end of this year.
Do you think then, reflecting on these, obviously having a quick scan through, is there anything that you think that could change the score on that, like any higher or lower, or?
Let me have a goosey gander. Mario Brothers, Super Mario Bros. No.
You'll keep it
Still keeping it as a 1. If I could put it as nothing and wish I'd never seen it and just erase it, then I would.
Yeah, it's a film of some description, but it's
not a film.
That was something, yeah. Yeah, I think mine still stands with that, because I probably maybe would give it would I give it a 1? I don't know. It's pretty bad, but I think I just give it benefit of the doubt with how it is. It's kind of, they tried. God, they tried, but it wasn't ever successful. It's very successful with that, to be honest.
I think the other one's looking at it like Space Jam 2. I kind of sat on the fence a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure why now, like 5 or 6. I think it probably would be a 5.
Yeah.
Or a 4.5, really, from a reflection of how I feel about it. I don't really care that much. I don't know if I highly scored it just because it was the first time back in the cinema.
Maybe, yeah. I think I'd maybe lower that even down to a 3 for that one, to be honest. Because it's, just of how it reflects on the first one, really. I know I said 9, but then obviously critical head on being a 6, really, because of what it is. It's not exactly
you mean
high
Space Jam.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I think the other one would be Bridesmaids at like 7. I don't know what made it, because like all I can remember was like me slagging off the fact that
you did.
She was shitting in the middle of the street, and then I gave it a 7. And I'm like, why have I done that?
I think maybe it's because it wasn't so OTT stupid.
I think it might have been how it ended.
Yeah. I think you remember you said you were really like crying. I think because of the fact that you're like,
I got a bit touched, didn't I?
But I
think it was the wedding more than that. Yeah. But to be fair, I think the only reason why I gave it was 7 was, I forgot his name. Is it Roy from IT Crowd?
Yeah.
I think he was my favourite character.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's why. So we'll remain it at that. It might need to re-watch to evaluate. Everything else stands the same. I've just had to look though, and the others, that I'm blanking on that now.
That was the Nicole Kidman, like, a gothic horror, I guess. With
the children that like would burn or something if they were let into the light.
Yeah, that's right.
Can I say no?
I wouldn't say in case people haven't seen it, but I know it's an old film, but I'd like to keep it as we can gather from what you just said. But anyway, it's I'd forgotten, like I hadn't seen it in a good while, I think I remember saying, but I can't forgot how good it was, but it definitely stuck with me as like one of the early horror films that I sort of saw when I was sort of getting into watching films of that caliber.
It was really good, actually. Now thinking of it, it's just a title yet again, because sometimes, to be fair, you just put things on and I'm like, oh, what we're watching. They say the title and it just doesn't stick sometimes with me. But I think the rest of them would say pretty much the same. I think, to be honest, the one that I always hate the most, and it sounds horrible and it's coming up soon, that's if we're wanting to do that again, is Monster March.
Maybe one more year of that. I think there's maybe a couple of things that are worth noting, and then maybe we can knock that on the head, perhaps. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So I've got this March to suffer. Monster March. It's just such a drag because they're all the same.
But that's why I want to do something like try and mix up a little bit in some way or shape or form. So also, pardon the pun.
Going on to monsters, what about Pocket Monsters?
What about them?
Your score, would you reevaluate that in any way, or because I know that's quite a high score?
Only on this, that's pure nostalgia like yours for the Grinch, but honestly, I think I would, if like I wrote it down 6/7 if being critical. It probably would be a 6.
Really?
Yeah, really.
No, I think The Grinch, I still wouldn't note it down to a 6, even if it's not nostalgia. I still think it's got a lot going for it with the storyline and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Pokemon one, it's good just because I know you love it and I enjoy it from your enjoyment view, but it the story is not really that solid.
No, it's definitely not. And with that, it's always hard for me to, and it's probably the same for a lot of people who are fans of Pokemon. I mean, it's hard to look past what the games offer to what the anime is, because like the game logic doesn't always apply in the anime, no matter how hard you think it. Well, that should work because he's super effective against that, or actually weak against thing, and it doesn't. It's like that just annoys me to no end. It's like that this shouldn't work.
It's
in
not
this
feasible.
universe that you've kind of developed. The games came before
the
anime. So why is this a So there's that. That's probably another reason why it should really be lower than it is and things like that. So, but yeah, no. I think we've covered a fair amount of the variety of stuff. To be fair, I know we've thrown a couple of ones that you wanted to watch in.
Yeah, we have. And to be fair, I think we've watched quite a few that have been with subtitles, a little bit more cultured, which is good to get us out there a little bit more. Not as many animated.
I was just about to say that, in terms of things like that. Pokemon counts as one, I guess.
James and the Giant Peach.
That's not an anime. That's just animated.
Yeah, but I kind of would clump that as that kind of not like live action, so to speak.
The only one is really Metropolis
and Hop, but that's not
an anime.
No, not an anime,
and not a very good animation, live action hybrid. No.
And then the Grinch, obviously the first Grinch, 1966 one.
Yeah, and
Kiki's Delivery Service, which is actually an anime.
Yeah. Yep. And the other animators is the 2018 Grinch.
Oh yeah. I was like, wait a minute, I've already said the Grinch. What are you on about?
No, the
I forgot about that one. That's not really existing in my head.
Illuminations one. Yeah. 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 And just.
So maybe we need to watch some more anime.
Yeah, I think as much as going about like love Japan and stuff like that, I feel like I don't know if it's like trying to like I was afraid like watch another one again type of thing, but it's so strange how it's kind of fallen with not many actually appearing in the list looking back on things.
However, we have gone a bit more cultured. So, for example, Tampopo, that is Japanese.
That's Japanese, yeah. But I just try and get that in somewhere, didn't I?
Yeah.
For that birthday.
And then we've had like Korean as well, and
French. Emily, first one, Emily. Yeah.
Also, there's oh boy, I can't remember. I know that
was Korean.
Was that Korean?
Yeah.
And then Chungking Express.
So Hong Kong.
Yeah. So had a couple of subtitle ones in there. To be fair.
Did
I think also did we not cover Mothra? No.
No, that was supposed to be Monster March, but I'm kind of glad we didn't, to be honest. That's one of the things
I'm just thinking, I remember we did subtitles on it, that's all.
Yeah, I got the thing, the disc of it, and kind of put it on one evening, and I'm thinking, like, I'm interested to see what you would thought, but on reflection, I don't think we got much out of that in terms of an episode, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought it was quite boring, to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't like halfway through before you even saw it. Well, near the back end, to be honest, in the full.
Well, yeah, it didn't really. Yeah, it's like this mythical thing that's not even there.
Yeah, I don't think looking through there was something like any sort of regrets of what we covered as such.
I regret watching Back to the Future Part 3.
Go back in time and re-erase that.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't think there is, like, even The Breakfast Club. I really enjoyed that. I've noticed I enjoy the old films more now, like, than the more modern ones.
No, I understand that to some degree.
I think Be Kind and Rewind, nah, I don't really care too much for that one.
Soft spot for that in a sense. That was really quite a good one for me. Like just an easy breezy.
I think it's the comedy value again, isn't it, for me? Whiplash thought was brilliant. It really did, actually.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that Anna and the Apocalypse. Annoying as that may seem, I did enjoy it for the Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
Would you regret watching Christmas with the Cranks, or do you think that was a good episode, even though you hated it?
Only in the sense that it's kind of like laid it to rest now, and that's done. I can give me opinions on it and everything.
Well, you gave your opinions, all right, didn't you?
Yeah.
So your lowest scores were Super Mario Bros. And I think I saw it as Hop.
Yes. 2. Yeah, those were the lowest.
And then I think you went to 3s then, which were Christmas and the Cranks, The Grinch 2018. So Christmas specials kind of got quite low scoring.
And Troll 2, I think.
Troll 2.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know if I was in the right... Because normally I've seen it countless times now, and it just... I don't know if I wasn't drunk enough or something, because I feel like birthday and stuff. To get like laugh at it, because it's like one of those so bad it's good type of.
I think it didn't help the fact that you were watching it with
maybe
me.
It was with the wrong crowd, perhaps.
Maybe needed your uni friends for that one
or something. Yeah, perhaps.
Not me.
No. I think before we go to the little questions segment we have.
Mm-hmm.
I will just get up the list of kind of looking back on like from our 100 episodes, like what's been the biggest, how like downloads, like what are the most popular episodes?
Yeah.
Top 10 most downloaded episodes of all time from.
It's exciting.
When we started.
I wonder what it'll be.
Okay. And I'm sure I checked this recently. Some of these have changed from when I last looked, so this is quite surprising that some of the ones on this. But anyway, nonetheless, we'll start from reverse order. So number 10, Casablanca.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting. That was a while ago. That was like last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, most of the ones are from last year, it seems, which is odd, but yeah, looking through all these were, but these are what the scores say. So, number 9 is your birthday special, number 2, which was the Birds of Prey, Pretty Woman, and Gangster Squad.
I'm happy with that. If you don't get a birthday special in this, then that means my birthday specials are better.
No, not on according to this listing, no.
So I picked better movies. I'm going with that.
That was one that was on the last time I checked. So these some of these other ones have above it had gone up. So, The Woman in Black is number 8.
Okay.
The 1989 and the 2010 version collectively in that one episode. Now, this is strange because I don't think this was like a particularly strong one. It was kind of like on a whim for this one. But number 7 is the 100-year-old man who climbed out of the window and disappeared. It's
an intriguing title, though, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
I did enjoy that one actually.
Don't remember. Well, I remember some bits about.
I remember that quite a bit actually, compared to some of the ones that we've watched this year.
Number 6 is Fargo.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Why are we picking that one? I forgot about that.
Okay, number 5 is Up.
Oh, okay, yeah, I approve.
Yeah, Very good. That's a 10. I think we both did a
Yeah.
10 on that one. Yeah. Number 4 is The Shining.
You happy with that, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Has that
Right.
gone up, or was from last time?
I don't think that was on the list, weirdly enough.
Oh wow, that's good.
From what I remember. I think this one was, though, number 3 being Halloween, the 1978 version. Jamie Lee Curtis in the first role, and cemented her as a good actress. And then why she did Christmas with the Cranks, I do not know.
She wanted a Christmas film that gives her a paycheck every year. Clearly.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Which I'm quite happy about. I don't think it was on the list before. You are Umaso. The dinosaur.
Really?
Japanese.
The tail one.
The tail?
He loses his tail? Or he eats the tails of things?
Lizards, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think one of the characters that loses their tail, don't they?
Yeah.
That's he looks after the little baby Ankylosaurus.
He's really cute.
Yeah.
I would watch that again.
Yeah, I just wish that one was a bit more easily accessible. Like, I wish that I had like a Blu-ray disc or something, but just to have like a proper hard
Is
copy.
there not anything available?
There's YouTube, I think. I hope it's still on there, because maybe just watching from that. But yeah, it's kind of
even if you had a child, you'd want to put that on, because it's like
exactly.
good story value.
Yeah, it's really cute. And for whatever reason, by country mile almost, like with the popularity, I do not know why. But
because we're amazing, Paul. No,
I don't know if it's because we had a guest on for this one. But number 1 spot. Do you want to hazard a guess what that might be?
Well, you're saying a guest. Love of History? No? Is that his guest?
No, it's not Tom Poco, no.
Ah, okay. It's a guest from last year.
Yeah.
Rock the Boat?
Ding, ding, ding.
Ah!
Yeah. For whatever reason, that's been the most consistently downloaded episode.
Oh, it'll be the Americans loving our accent. That's what it is.
Possibly, yeah. But that's kind of good, because it's like a Richard Curtis film anyway, which big on the Love Actually thing anyway. So
100%. And it's really interesting to see what people enjoy.
Yeah, no, it is definitely eye-opening to know that information. Even from looking at the top 10 from downloaded from this month, that still sits a good high percentage of that.
Really?
Yeah. Then it's The Grinch.
Yay!
Jack Frost. Oh, it's December stuff. 100 episode. And The Notebook creeps in. Last Christmas. Up.
Oh, wow.
Little Miss Sunshine. 4 Weddings and City of God. Yeah, so strange. But, there's no pattern with these things as such, but I don't know what it is about The Boat That Rocked, but people like the film or like us. I don't know, like listening to it because it keeps creeping in the lists. So
that's good.
It's good, yeah.
Keeps us circulating out there,
So I guess a big shout out and thank you to Militello for joining us.
Yes.
On that episode.
Definitely. I think it was a fun episode. I remember laughing a lot when we were recording it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think we'd definitely have him as a guest on again, I think. I know he wanted to talk about Full Metal Jacket because that was like a Vietnam War related film.
Okay.
And he's done service for his country, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough on that
so
one.
He's obviously got more to bring onto knowing about how relatable in those situations it is for that film. So yeah, it's maybe something for the future.
Definitely, and I know you've been on his as well. You've done quite a few little cameos on other people's podcasts without me as well.
And you were on without me on an episode.
You let me loose for once. Yeah. On Film Foggers. I enjoyed it, actually.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I did.
Talking Christmas.
Yeah. And not having you dictate on what we should and shouldn't say.
That's true. It was a good episode. Listen back to it.
I haven't listened. I'm so scared to listen back just because, I don't know what I'm going to sound like without Paul reining me in.
Very proud of what
Oh,
I've moulded you into talking about the stuff in it. So.
good girl. Do I get a star? 10
Get a
points.
pat on the head.
Okay, I'll do.
Yeah. Right. So now we'll just very quickly go to the questions.
Thank you for everyone who has left a question and any feedback and comments that you've given us in the past. It's always appreciated. Any little interaction you give us makes us day.
So I'll start off with this one from Mr. Chris Gren, who's a friend of, a school friend of mine. And
Yeah.
Our mutual friend. Yeah,
he's both our friends now.
Yeah.
You can't claim him.
No. He asks, is Die Hard a Christmas film?
Well, he knows the answer. Now, it has developed my answer. My normal Sophie answer would be no.
Okay.
My critical Sophie head would be Die Hard 1, if you're asking, is not a Christmas film. However, I will clutch at tiny, tiny straws and throw people a bone and say Die Hard 2 is.
Well, most people would say that Die Hard 1 and 2 are still Christmas films, or one more so. It's more recognised as just because there's no snow or anything.
It's not that. It's not even the fact that
it takes place at like a Christmas party in LA.
It just doesn't feel as Christmassy, and it doesn't give you the values of Christmas as much as Die Hard 2 does.
Okay.
That's all.
Right, everything doesn't have to be like
I feel
everyone
like a Christmas
gathering around
movie
for like a let's get the turkey and at the table and everything, is it?
No, but a Christmas movie should give you some values and some morals and reasons of why you should be a good person all the time. That to me is the pinnacle of a Christmas film.
Stop the baddies from ruining Christmas.
He did, but
John McClane.
He did kill people as well.
Yeah, for the good. Greater good.
I think he just wanted to look hard and get his wife
Die
back
hard,
on that one. So, yeah, I don't really... I think I liked it better when he had a wife. Because he gets back with her, doesn't he?
Yeah, throw it from the back of the first one. He's like...
Well, yeah, won't anyone marry him after the first one, but I still don't think it's a Christmas film.
Whatever. Right. I'd say it is, but I'm not going to...
Your opinion doesn't count on this podcast.
A follow-up question from that is Batman Returns a Christmas film? Now,
Does it have Heath Ledger in it?
No, it doesn't. It has... what's it? Michael Keaton from Jack Frost in it as playing Batman role.
How does he do that then?
What do you mean?
Is it a sterling performance or... I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment. A part of me wants to say no, but I can't really say no until I've seen it.
Okay. It might be on the... Watch this for next Christmas then.
Oh no, Gren!
Because I'd say that was... It's definitely set around Christmas time and there's snow in it, so you can definitely say that at the very least. And
just because it snows doesn't mean it's a Christmas film. That's not like my inner child, like, you know.
No. You see, because like Fargo is set in the cold area.
It doesn't make it Christmas.
But
okay, moving on.
Yeah, but I would say that is where you'd have to give judgment on that to know whether.
I'll disagree, probably.
Okay. Film Vloggers has one for us.
Ah. Do you think that's from Fiona?
No, it's from Ben. Because of the way this is worded. And he does all the social media stuff. So. Right.
You never know, he might let Fiona take the reins over Christmas. Should do a better job.
This will be interesting.
Sorry, Ben.
This will be an interesting answer. Would you guys consider appearing on Wife Swap with Fiona and me?
Sounds amazing. I'm not sure. I would probably... I think Fiona does a better job at reining Ben in with this thing that does something for the microphone.
Yeah, because there's always that going on at the start of the recording. It's like...
I think Fiona would eat you up alive.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. I think you'd have a harder time. I think Ben would get off lightly with me.
Yeah, I reckon.
Probably would tolerate his ways a bit more and be a bit more patient with it, where I think you'd have hell on. She'd train you, though. So when I got back, she would make my life easier.
Come on, I'm not that bad.
No, but she would. She'd help. Because you're like a little puppy still. So, like, if something was done wrong and, like, you were told off quite a bit, I think you would, in your head, know that and you wouldn't then want to do it wrong again.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ben would probably tell her where to shove it. Whereas I don't think you would.
No.
I think that'd be interesting. I think if anything, I think Fiona would help me and Ben would revert to his bad ways. And then Fiona would have more work on her hands. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the idea. I don't know.
You might get on better. You might get,
I don't know.
She can teach you how to play the, what was it?
Tin whistle.
Tin whistle.
Possibly.
Do you think it'd work better?
Don't know. Be interested to know how the episodes would work. You know, like if you did that, and then like whether it would be the same level of, you know, like you then only have the banter and stuff, and how they would actually sound in terms of recording stuff, like the content.
You'd be crying. Fiona's not that bad, but I think I'm a lot softer on you.
Certainly, I don't think I'd be as stressed as Ben would be for getting everything perfect.
I think Ben would make me stressed, to be fair. I'd be like, getting anxiety before I go on. I don't know. But then, to be honest, he's a perfectionist and I am.
Yeah.
I like things to be in order.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit like that with how want things set up and ready for
I adhere to your like awkward ways of before we set up, whereas I know Fiona doesn't tolerate that very well.
No, it still happens.
I still get annoyed sometimes, but
yeah.
So it would be interesting.
Yeah. I
wonder if Ben would make me watch less crap films.
No, I don't think he would. No, he might be like try and just rope you in on all
Ben
sorts.
Ben did 12 days of Vlogmas.
Vlogmas, yeah.
So,
but he also did 30 Days of Horror. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Fiona wasn't in for all those episodes. To be fair, he had Tom on as well for.
Oh, well, there we go then. That's like lets Fiona off on some of them then. Yeah. So I'm okay with that.
And some of those were only like 15 minutes.
Oh, sound right. Okay.
To talk about them, we still.
I'm ditching you. I'm going for Ben now.
Okay. All right, Ben, you can have her, I guess. So that's going to be set up next year then, I guess. There
you go. If I'm only having to talk for 15 minutes and I can get away with not watching that much horror films, I'm away. And get 12 days of Christmas.
I'm not going to go that extreme of having you watch every single day of the month.
But if I could get guests on to cover Christmas, not Christmas, Halloween for me, then I'd take that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it looks good now. Okay. I do love you.
And lastly, from 100 Things We Learned from Film. Hi, guys.
Hello. I feel like I haven't heard from them in ages.
Knowing the pair of you have such different tastes in films, what is the single worst film you have seen together that you agree on, and the best under the same criteria?
I feel like I can answer this already.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope from the scores, are we thinking of this year, or?
I think from everything, really. It doesn't have to be from...
Well, single hand down worst one would be Super Mario Bros. Or whatever it's called. For me.
But I guess it doesn't have to be from maybe not what we've even covered in terms of things.
Okay. But I still think the highest one would be Singing in the Rain. Like that's,
yeah. That's definitely.
Or like It's a Wonderful Life. That's like up there. I've noticed I've got a love. I forgot his name, George Bailey. I've got a love for him now.
James Stewart. Yeah.
I would marry him, like if he was still alive.
Not at 90.
No.
But you mean like if you were back in his heyday? Like,
yeah. I would be swooning.
As they did back then. That was the thing.
Yeah.
No, you said this year that like it's watching that you were like, I think even like we watched White Christmas or Holiday Inn or whatever it's called, yeah. And you're more alert to those and drawn into those kind of films more than than modern.
I don't know if
stuff.
I'm just an old soul or if it is just because the dialogue is so much more gripping.
In terms of like that's all they've got to work with in the sense because there's no like special effects explosions going on
But you
or
don't need that,
weird
do you?
creatures or something in the, exactly.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
for
just
show,
a
isn't it?
classic acting film with them just acting.
Yeah,
That's literally it.
In terms of bad one collectively, I mean we didn't really finish the do you remember that Chris Pratt action thing that was on Amazon? What was it called, the Tomorrow War or something?
Oh, I forgot if he even
And then
forgot about that.
we'd started watching it, and it was like 45 minutes in, like, where are the monsters that we're supposed to see? And that was dragged.
Yeah.
All this set up for, we didn't finish it, and it's like I can't be bothered with this anymore.
I don't think it'd have been too bad
much.
Probably to the end, but it was 2.5 hours or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was
like,
just a waste of time.
To be that long for what it was. No, waste of time that was.
I think obviously the Grinch one as well, 2018 one, like,
yeah,
could have done without that one.
Yeah, to be fair, there wasn't.
I think that tarnished my Grinch episode a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Only similarly with in terms of what we've covered is worst probably been the Super Mario Brothers. To be fair, even though it wasn't like I'm giving it a little pinch extra, but on a similar level playing field, I guess you could allow it to be dropped a little lower just to make that the case, because
it's not great, is it? It's not really a film; it's more a game.
Yeah, the transition between that and that just doesn't work at all. Yeah, I think that would probably be the answer for that, really. Off the top of my head, there's probably been other things that we've not covered, and it's like, what is this type of thing? But yeah,
I think that's pretty much. Don't really watch too much rubbish, I don't think. Not lately, anyways, because I've had a bit more of a say of what we watch. That kind of leads us nicely as well, swiftly into how next year's going to look. Have you done all the questions? Sorry.
Oh, just a little thing he added on to that anyway. It wasn't not a question, but just a thing he added on. He said, congratulations on 100 episodes from me and him, as in John.
Yeah.
And good luck for 2022, which is totally going to be your year.
Oh, bless him. That's so lovely.
Thanks, Mark.
I think the connection you and Mark have got from this as well, because you're both so similar. I feel like you've kind of bonded with quite a few people on this, because like Ben is quite similar to you with how he kind of runs his, and Mark, bless him, he's been such a big help this year, hasn't he, with helping you with Twitter and bringing you onto like different platforms and
groups and stuff. Yeah.
It's just the support that people give, and you haven't even met them. It's just really humbling of how lovely people can be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so big thanks to all the guests and everybody.
Yeah.
It's been a help.
It's been lovely. Yeah. It's been lovely to meet you all as well and get to know you as friends.
So, sorry, you were saying before.
So, kind of wrapping this up in a nutshell is...
So what's for the future? Yeah.
What we want to do. Do we want to carry on? Are you happy with me?
No, I think there's still some life left in this, yeah.
Will you want to marry me next year? Because we're going on to the 4th year of engagement.
Yeah, not quite a 5-year engagement.
Not yet. Well, 2018 you proposed, so do we count? It's like 19, 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's August, though, 2022, which makes it 4 years engagement, but still quite a hefty engagement to wait, I guess. Yeah, we'll get there, won't we?
No fault of our own as such, really. It's just been how the world's
been.
Well,
even if we wanted it in 2020, it wouldn't have happened anyway.
No,
so
exactly. So
a little bit of hindsight somehow from me, I guess, because I poo-pooed that one away, didn't I? I said, no, that's too early, that is.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have gone even earlier. Might have got married. But it's going to be a wonderful day. I'm really looking forward to how that's going to pan out. So we might be taking a little break round there. So it's in October.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Halloween specials we'll get in. Sophie might get a month
You might
off.
you might get away with it a little bit, maybe,
Yeah.
perhaps, but we shall see. Anyway, for the foreseeable future, might have a little, like a week or so, just to kind of like plan out or have a proper talk about what we want to do with the format of things, because I've got a couple options in my head, being the fact of, I want to still keep the fact of introducing you to new films and stuff. I want to keep that as part of the thing, because I think that's why we all started it anyway.
But to be fair, I think it doesn't have to just be films that you've seen. So introducing me to new films could mean a film you haven't seen as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, to mix it up as well, to have that element to it. So like every other film we cover is one that you haven't seen at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen, like, oh, this is something you should see. And then there's be the next time, week, whatever, being something like oh, I've got like a mountain of things I still haven't watched, and I would think that'd be worth potentially, hopefully, talking about or discovering on both our parts, and see what we think overall, like going fresh, completely blind.
I really would like that. I think I'll enjoy that so much, because it's nice to know your opinions and see how you're feeling from your first watch as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think that will bring something added new to our podcast, so I really think that's a good shout. Also, it helps if we're wanting to go to the cinema, because then we can review it.
Exactly. You don't have to be just covering stuff that's got at home and everything.
And to be fair to you, it's nice because I don't think you're getting round to being able to watch new things, because you're just rewatching what you've already seen. So
I'm just watching them on my own, and then it's like, oh, then if I want to cover that, then I have to wait a while because I've only just seen it.
Or rewatch it, yeah.
Yeah, like 2 weeks later or something daft like that. And it's like, those kind of situations. So that's that. But then you got me this book over Christmas that was called the Everyone's a Critic 52-week movie challenge, which has kind of got like a load of different options for like films that you can do for a challenge, like every week. So it's like, well then should we maybe go from this formula, or maybe bench that for now and go with this, see how this format of going every other thing that I had in my head initially before that, because obviously then if it's kind of like following the structure of how this is laid out, because I know I will want it, I think you could probably mix it up, but knowing the way I like to keep things organised, I'd rather just go through, not having to flip back through to a different
a
channel, a thing, than to a page or whatever.
Because I was going to suggest that, like, even though I am an organised person, it's like, oh, well, we can kind of mix it up a little bit.
But if I look through it and decide on whether it's worth basing it around that as well, or make it a bit more like right, what films fit into this category that
I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying maybe a bit of planning on that part.
Because to be fair, what we have done this year is we have planned a bit, but it also has been certain things where Paul's just been like, okay, this is a list of films we want to cover.
Yeah.
And then I get to pick from them.
Yes,
and then
been
it's
a couple
of times where we just kind of pick randomly, or I would pick, or you would show me the covers and I'd be like, okay, I like that one, let's put that on.
And sometimes it's kind of just been like, oh, it's convenient to just put this on, not like a, well, this will do type of thing, but there's just been like, it depends on what time allows with certain things.
So. And as well, I think sometimes you don't want to be critically watching something all the time, so it's nice to have something like James and the Giant Peach, where it is one of those light-hearted, simple films, but you enjoy it.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you don't have to be like old boy, like
super serious every time.
Hurt.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So
no, it'd be interesting to see what we decide for the future, but definitely back in 2022. It might not be 1st of January or whatever that. Yeah. Might be mid-Jan. We'll keep you posted on when we're going to be airing our first episode in 2022.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And we will decide what the path in the future will look like. I think I agree with on-off films that I have seen,
Yeah.
and
That's
that we both
definitely
haven't seen.
going to be to be done, really. And
But it's just if we follow that structure, or if we follow the book, or I'm guessing we can't do either or, so it's either follow structure or no book. So we'll have to see what we can fit from the book to if it's feasible.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we can get some cinema watches in as well, so that might be
exactly
a bit tricky if you're following a book,
Yeah,
because you don't know what's coming out.
and also with potential guests as well. There's always those kind of things as well, because it can't. Trying to fit that makes it easy. Obviously, if scheduling stuff in potentially if somebody crops up for that, or
so if
those
you
kind of things.
Do you want to take part in any of our podcasts, or if you want us to be showcased on yours, just drop us a line on probably Instagram or Twitter, would you say?
Yeah.
It's the best platforms?
Yeah. That's at SP_Filmviewers to reach out to us on there for those kind of things. And be sure to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Podchaser, Good Pods, all that good stuff.
I knew you were going to say that.
for your listening pleasure on our 100 episodes that we've done now. Can't believe we've
actually achieved it.
Achieved that, yeah.
Thank you all for listening to us this year. I hope that you continue and want to listen to us going into 2022. Thank you for all your support, everyone that's been on a guest, and just everyone's nice comments and kind of buying us a coffee or something simple as that, just to encourage us. It means a lot, and it makes us want to carry on talking about films and spending time with one another.
Yes. So a big thank you to everybody who's downloaded all our episodes. Really appreciate it, and I'm glad hopefully that you are enjoying what you're hearing from us. And I think that's all for now.
Apart from have a wonderful new year. I hope 2022 is better than 2020 or 2021, and that life can get somewhat close to normal, and we can get married. And I hope that everyone has had a lovely Christmas and a healthy, safe New Year.
Yeah. So Happy New Year from us, and we will speak to you very, very soon.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.